What's going down, people? How you doing? This is TK coming at you, and I guess I can truly say party on, continue on with paper money, continue on with your life as you've been told and as you've been taught, because I cannot seem to convey the concept of fiscal irresponsibility by the people in charge, or the concept that our current monetary system is not sustainable. It's actually insolvent, and at some point mathematically will show repercussions to the overextension, the extended printing, the continuous fractional reserve lending that adds to inflation, leads to devaluation, and essentially keeps you in debt slavery. I can't seem to express that. You know, I had a conversation with someone recently, and I talked about some of these same things, and it went right over their head. You would think I was speaking German because they didn't try to comprehend, much less acknowledge any of the words that were coming out of my mouth. So it seems that everyone's just going to party on with the dollar until we end up in austerity measures like Greece or Cyprus, or we end up in financial ruin like 2008, or what's going on in Venezuela right now. But every time you bring this to quote-unquote people with paper degrees, they say, well, it's just not going to happen. Everybody's been saying it's going to happen, and it's just not going to happen. Okay, so I guess before 2008, people were still saying the same thing. Oh, it's just not going to happen. I guess before 1929, people were saying the same thing. Oh, it's just not going to happen. But there is a egg drop, or a tipping point within the scale of mathematics, where if you stretch the bubble too thin, you're going to see some repercussions within the market. The market corrects itself naturally when you have too many pressures. Well, they say, well, we're well beyond the last predicted bubble, and we're doing just fine. The economy's in recovery. The job numbers look good. People are supposedly having paper money success, and this is what's propagated in the mainstream lied to you media, when the truth of the matter is most jobs are part-time and seasonal. The average family is about $500 from bankruptcy. A lot of people are struggling financially and have a hard time finding decent paying jobs. The economy has been probably in recession, if not stagnant, since probably 2009, early 2010. And the truth of it is that none of the problems that created the crash of 2008 have been addressed. They all, if anything, have been expanded, because we're still doing the same thing. So how do we do the same thing and expect different results? I think that's the definition of insanity. But people are optimistic about how the recovery is going, when most national banks are insolvent. When you name the big names, they're a paperclip away from becoming Lehman Brothers, because the manipulation that happens within the financial market creates greed, and that greed is perpetual. And that perpetual greed leads to making negative decisions that affect you, that you don't even care about, that you don't even try to learn about. So that's why I say that the phoenix must die in the ashes in order for something else to rise. They know that the system's going to crash. They've already prepared for it. I mean, people with old money, the super rich, have been converting to gold and silver for at least the past 10 years. Bitcoin was created out of the ashes of 2008, and the new money of the 21st century is cryptocurrency. You can actually sit in front of your computer with an internet connection and play arbitrage between different secure electronic currencies and make yourself a millionaire. And as those currencies then increase, who knows where you're going to be in the future. So what's happening now, the paradigm shift that has already happened, is what people fail to acknowledge. The average person is still bragging about a devaluating dollar that has no purchasing power and continues to lose purchasing power every single year. And these people are all over Facebook talking about how much paper they have. You know, I said it in a different video. I said that's like a fool in the jester's court bragging about being the biggest fool. You know, it's an ignoramus thing to do, and it is comical. And I'm sure the super rich who see that stuff laugh. Like, look at these sheep. You know, people are called sheeple because the super rich feel like you're not smart enough to make your own decisions. So people with more power, money, and influence, and definitely more financial education, make decisions for you. And they keep you in the rat race so that you're paying attention to things that have zero value. And it's funny because I can agree with the super rich now that I'm not in the rat race. I mean, my perspective is not in the rat race. The money hasn't caught up to my goals yet, but they're there because I'm doing it through Bitcoin. But I can understand how comical it is, because when you try to educate people, they aggressively and negatively defend their self-defeating actions. So you step back like, I don't have to help you, and based on your attitude and your closed-mindedness, I'm not going to help you. Good luck with all of that paper while I continue to stack gold, silver, and Bitcoin and watch it increase in value the longer I hold it. You know, it's like, let me step back, get out of this rat race, and take care of me. You know, I'm at $150 a day in Bitcoin. I'm working on $2,000 a day. I'm doing it without a team. And I only make $250 in paper at work. So I'm already at half my salary at work. It's funny, I told that to a coworker, and he was like, that's good. You know, it's working out for you. Congratulations. And I'm like, thank you. You know, but nobody thinks about it in terms of, wait a minute, I can make half my salary outside of work too. Like, it's comical. So you know what I say? I say, you know what? Let sleeping dogs lie. And I think some people deserve the pain and misery that they're about to step into with the next financial crisis. Because it's not a matter of if it's going to happen. It's more about when it's going to happen and whether or not you are prepared for it financially, and whether or not you are participating in the new economy, the new Silk Road, the new initiative for how we trade, how we deal in economics, and it has nothing to do with paper. There's already a replacement for the dollar. It's called a domestic settlement note, and then there's an international settlement note, and both of those notes are backed by gold. So I can't help those who will not help themselves, and I think some people are going to wake up to devalued dollars that don't purchase very much, to credit cards that don't swipe, and they're not going to have alternative forms of currency and money like gold, silver, and Bitcoin. And that's just going to hurt them because those options just won't be available. You know, when you wake up, it's going to be too late. And that's all I can say about that. So hopefully some people wake up, and I hope that those of you that want to party on with the dollar, party until the Titanic hits the bottom of the ocean. They say on the Titanic the music played to the last minute. So party on, people. Party on.